Well, what's up, guys? Preston Schmidley here of Better Agency, and I'm joined by Casey Nelson. Casey, why don't you take a second to introduce yourself for those watching? Tell them, who you are, where you're at, what you do, a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. So, as you already said, my name's Casey Nelson with Integrity Personal Insurance. We're a primarily personal lines agency in McKinney, which is a suburb north of Dallas. Yeah, I've been in insurance since 2015. The agency's been open since 2009. We've been moving and grooving, a lot of growth. We're trying to do some new things, and we're really excited because Better Agency's been really amazing tool for us. It's been something that's opened up some avenues and some potential we didn't realize we had. So
Nice,
happy
man.
to be here.
So you've been using Better Agency for how long now?
We jumped on board during that first call with Chris. The Advisor Evolved kind of team got a call.
About 3 months ago, probably, right? So
Yeah.
about 90 days on the platform. And, what are some things that you've experienced while using Better Agency? What are some of the things that it's been able to either solve for you, or maybe if you want to talk to problems you had that maybe you don't have anymore?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, even like the road to getting to Better Agency is
Sure.
probably pretty important.
Go for it. Absolutely.
So we've always tried to implement new technology when it's something that makes sense and we think it will solve a problem. Sometimes technology creates more problems or makes things more difficult, especially if you're not utilizing it properly. We've gone through that, and that's part of running an agency, right? I want my agents, my producers, to have to remember nothing.
Right.
I don't want them to have to remember a stinking thing. I want them to just sell, talk to people, do their jobs. I want them to make a ton of money, and I want us to make a ton of money. So part of that process is we'd grown so much that we couldn't really monitor what our agents were doing on a day-to-day basis, and we weren't providing them any tools that would help them be more successful. So I looked into all kinds of different CRMs. I don't want to name drop anybody, but I went through like what felt like weeks of demos and weeks of questions about Zapier and integrations and does this work and does that work? And my head was spinning. It was crazy, but we had to do something. And then I got that email from Chris that's saying like, hey, I've got something I want to talk to everybody about. I'm going to do a Facebook video. And it was like every box was checked. We were really, really excited because it just seemed like, company A could do most of what we wanted. Company B could do most of what we wanted, but nobody could do everything that we wanted. Better Agency seemed like a perfect solution. We jumped on board, and it's allowed us to do a ton of things. And I'm excited for the next wave of the changes that are coming in.
Has there been a noticeable improvement in your guys', either workflow or conversion or time to sale with Better Agency than before?
Oh, absolutely. And the most noticeable thing is the speed with which we're receiving communications back from those leads. And I was on the phone with one of our reps. She works remotely, and I was trying to show her. She was scared that something else was going to be communicating on her behalf. And she was she didn't want to give up that control. And then it was like there was divine intervention because a lead came in. I was sharing my screen with her. I said, look, I'm going to zap this into Better Agency for you right now. So you can see the text message that goes out. You can see the email that goes out. And we got a text back from that lead while I was on the phone with her.
Boom.
And it was like proof in the pudding, perfect timing. There's a generational thing in some cases where people have to trust and understand what's going on, baby steps, but it's working. Our contact rate's amazing. We have a school referral program that the first wave of spring sports is hitting Texas right now, softball, baseball, track. And so we've got it set up now where when we're at those parent meetings, like the kickoff meetings or whatever they call it, and we put up a QR code, it's going to send them to a landing page. As soon as they submit their information, Better Agency starts working. And I'm so excited to see what that's going to turn into in terms of conversions.
That's awesome, man. That's really cool to see you using that. So not only you're saying that Better Agency has not only improved the ease of conversion, you're saying it has had a substantial time to conversion that is allowing you to do a lot less prospecting. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely. And the prospecting that needs to happen now at this point for us is just making the calls when Better Agency is telling us to make the calls versus remembering when the last time you called somebody, or did I email them yesterday? Did I call them? Whatever. Now there's actually a plan, which is also critical because again, you don't have to spend any bandwidth thinking, what have I already done? Looking up data. You just do what it tells you to do.
That's awesome, man. That's cool to see you getting that. So when the leads now, let's say you've made contact with the leads, right? And it's cool. It's been cool to see that you guys are using the new lead features there to help you get those people, on the phone, which is actually really cool because a lot of people don't know in the insurance space. A lot of people are used to doing calls or in-office appointments, but not only is the open rate to like text like 98% or something high, like crazy high, right? It's like, I don't know if you've seen this in your agency, but in mine, it's like, that's where we do most of our business,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's cool. Now, after you get those in contact with those people, right? How has the pipeline, as far as, having the appointment schedule, missed appointment, having like quote sent or quote ready, quote sent, and we just actually released a second video proposal sequence if you use video proposals. How have those campaigns that are pre-built for you, how have those improved your business?
Well, I think that even just the appointment set campaign is great because it's just that extra level of confirmation that you've got an appointment set with somebody. And also it triggers that task, I think, then for the assigned agent, which is great. We work really hard with our producers to not need, frankly, the quote ready, quote sent campaigns. That doesn't always work out though, because obviously like when you get off the phone with them, like you want to already have that date set of when I'm going to propose this to you. But when we don't, when we fail to execute that particular part of it, those two sequences are incredible because I mean, it's so hard when you've prepared that quote for somebody. I mean, you've earned the right to badger them is kind of how I look at it, even though that's probably a loaded term, but like you've earned the right, like you've put in the work, they've committed to you, like you should get that opportunity. But a lot of people don't like to feel like, oh my God, I'm annoying this person, I'm badgering this person. So let's let Better Agency do it because it's going to, and that's what we need it to do. Frankly, we need it to do the things we don't want to do, and it's set up perfectly for that. Those two campaigns.
Awesome. Have you guys been able to use the cross sell?
We haven't really used it yet. I think that list that I put in is probably about to trigger.
Nice.
So I'll know for sure more then. But I'm excited about it. I think it's awesome that that's a huge problem in most agencies, I'm sure, certainly in ours. I mean, we have one guy who has, he himself, 197 monoline clients. Yeah, I know. When I showed him the potential premium on that, there was still meat on the bones.
You guys are about to have a good month here coming up. Well, and the cool part is every different product type is written specifically to that product type, right? So it's like you don't have to, like from a technical standpoint, those emails, those texts, all of that's already done, whether it's a recreational vehicle, whether it's a renter's policy, whether it's a life insurance policy, we've customized that to make sure that it matches the journey of the client and where they're at and where you're trying to get them to. Awesome, man. I'm excited to stay in touch with you on that. And so my final question here for you, Casey, is, obviously people watching this video, some of them might be on the fence. Obviously, they're probably similar to you. They were doing a lot of technology. The office is probably exhausted and fatigued they're like, they're frustrated, right? I get it. I have been too. That's why we went on this journey. And I'm sure you've experienced the same. To people that might be on the fence, frustrated, maybe they're skeptical or they have doubt about Better Agency and what it could do for their business, what would you say to those people that are on the fence?
You should be on the fence, right? It's a scary, big decision. It's going to be a great decision for you because it's a way to consolidate a lot of different systems you probably have a tech stack with all these different things, or you're trying to have a tech stack with all these different things. And from my experience and the research I did and the demo cycle I was on, trying to find something that was going to work, this was the only one that had everything built in. You should talk to somebody like me who uses it, or find somebody else who uses it and see how they use it. Because I'm guessing anybody that uses Better Agency is probably pretty cool and has an open door policy. So
hopefully,
I mean, right. It's only for cool people. But, I really do think though that, the community that you guys have built, the Facebook community, the openness that starts at the top, get in there, talk to people who are using it. And from our experience, it's probably the best thing you could do if you really want to get into automation. You don't want to have to figure out coding or hire an engineer or make multiple systems talk. Because that's another thing, is like a lot of those other systems would require a second or a third vendor to do text messages or whatever. And in this case, you're getting something that's all in one house. And that's what I tell them. I tell them is like, do your homework, go talk to some people, see how they're really using it, and then go for it, because you're not gonna regret it.
And it's probably the best dollar you can spend for 14 days of
Yeah.
worst case scenario. You spend $1, import a auto no home list or a auto home no life list, make some money and realize it for yourself, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely. But they
awesome,
should
man.
go for it, man. They should go for it.